You're about to get your face blown by a flat earther. She's not only a friend, but one of the biggest subscribers and supporters, engages in every single aspect of the show and in the community. Make sure you check her out, Level Playing Plume herself, the amazing Tamara T. Mad love and respect. Make sure you check her out, guys. Stay tuned. Let's go.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
You can take to the back door. Excuse my language, T. It was the month of mental health awareness for men. It was, it is, and it always will be. I am reclaiming the rainbow today. Testicles 1, 2. Testicles. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Trebles Garcia. And we're kicking it off. What a month that's coming up. What a month that's ahead. I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. I am Trebles Garcia, your humble host, and I'm excited, guys. Today, we have a very, very, very special person joining us. This person didn't only take time out of her day to be in the show when I was going through some troubles and turmoil at my home. And now she's doing it again, filling in for somebody else that was, had to do something else with their life as well. She's not only a loyal friend and supporter, but she is a very beautiful and smart person. Before we jump into that, guys, I want to remind you that the most important thing that you can do for the show today is word of mouth. Check us out at paranoidradio.com, and do not forget to check us out and check out Cryptid Warfare Podcast, Cryptid Warfare Operations. If you guys have any critters outside of your home that are eating your chickens or killing your goats or tormenting your horses, anything that it is that you guys have been paranormally activated with, check out Cryptid Warfare Operations on paranoidradio.com. They will give you the tools and the assets and the guidance to deal with these critters. Also, check out Ale Christine. Guys, I don't get paid to say this. She gave me the tools to live parasitic free. I'm not only drug free and alcohol free, but now I'm also parasitic free. That's beautiful. What an adventure. Make sure you check them out and check out Flavors of the Forest. Cook with zest and season your meat before you eat. That's right. Guys, all right, let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Please give a warm welcome to my next special guest. She's been here before. She's a flat earther. She's a beautiful, beautiful author and a beautiful soul. Mother, a wife. Hey, Tam, we call you T out here. How are
Hey
you?
T. Oh gosh, it's awesome to be back. Thank you. I think besides Catalyst Jones, I think you have been the most influential person. Oh, I hope I'm not seizing up figures. The whole introduction. Did I seize up or I'm okay? Are
No,
we
you're
still
perfectly
going?
fine. Yeah.
My internet. But first of all, thank you to you. You are such a big part of our life, my life, our life. I've got the bracelet. I don't know if
Yeah.
the
You still
bracelet.
have it? I thought it would have popped by now.
Um,
And she'll be back. I think I'm losing her. Let's give it some time. She's seizing up. Tamara. There she is. I lost you for a bit, but you're back.
Okay, I've got all my internet off. It was fine before. We were having a great conversation, and now it's season up. Okay, but thank you first to you, because the first time I was on, you had done a women's roundtable, and it was so inspiring because I'm listening to these women who have the same issues and concerns that I had. So that was huge. Then you included me the next time, which was awesome. And I was so nervous. I couldn't think, I couldn't talk. I answered the question like 10 questions later, I go back to the first one. So you were very patient with me about that. Then you had me on and you got to let me talk my flat earth. That was really fun. I appreciated that. Janet, your episodes with Janet have been incredible, and sharing them with other people who can learn about Crohn's disease. I had no idea about it, about cholesterol, about so many things. And then you did that deep dive with her, with her life, with Origins, and that series. You have taught me that it's okay to be free and honest about your past. It makes you who you are. So instead of being embarrassed about my past or shy about my past or anything, it has helped me be able to talk about it and and share my past and my experiences, that it's not embarrassing. It is making me who I am today. So those experiences, as horrible as some of them were, and at the time seemed insurmountable, it's pushing forward. It just, I think you and Janet both have been honest and open about what you've gone through and what your family's gone through, and your family connections and the horrible things that have happened that you've had to deal with. And it's just, it's inspiring and it's freeing. I think that's the biggest word, is it's just, it's just, yeah, it's just, that's part is so exciting. Then, when we did the second one with the women, Kyle Chef was on, Chef Kyle was on, and just, what a
He's one of my
goofball.
bestest friends,
He
man.
is hilarious. And so that he and Hank had me on their show. It was a football one. I'm a diehard Redskins fan. And so it was a big rivalry because Eagles and the Redskins were in the NFC East Championship. So it was huge. So that was really fun. So you opened that door. And then Plunder World was on that show. He was talking and stuff like that. I have his cards. I have his first series, and I've already ordered the second series. And I know like people do the trading cards and stuff, and I put them all in.
Dude, I can't believe it. I'm not the
yes.
only one.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
some of them are full, and so I know what I'm missing. So if there's anybody else who's doing the trading cards, let me know, because I want to fill all of them. So I put them in order. Oh, I don't know if you can see with the reflection, but I put them in order so I know what's missing. So if anyone wants to play trading card with me, I've learned so much, and it's gross and scary and awful and interesting.
It's
So
a real, I love his stuff. I love his stuff. First of all, Janet, oh, come on. Janet's my pod mom. I talk to Janet daily. She said hi, by the way, before, when I told her that you were
oh
filling
God, I
for
love her. She's so
the other
sweet.
podcast. And no, Janet gave me probably, while I was recording with Janet, the health series, I was high. Most of them I was high or drunk. And it's funny because I was able to touch people in an emotional and intellectual level through the pod, through her message, through her experiences, and through her knowledge. And I could only imagine where I could have been at if I wasn't using for so long, right? And her, obviously, she is so loyal, dude. Um, a situation happened. Matt, shout outs to the Portable Nation podcast. You got to check her out.
Love you, Janet.
Janet was the one that put in front of me. What so did Catalyst Jones. So shout outs to him for that also. But Janet was the one that got me on Cult of Conspiracy. Shout outs to White Rabbit podcast. There's the mug. He really he offered it for me, but I couldn't do it with him because it was going to take time away from the show. But because I had pre-recorded shows, so many pre-recorded shows with Janet, she was the one that used those shows as ammo for when she was recording with Colt. So now she's on a series with Colt, non-stop series with Colt, where she's featuring the old episodes with us. So God was still able to, like, hey, even though you can't do this, it's still yours because you have content now. Janet's been a door of blessings. It's just a gateway. It's just, oh my goodness. And she walks me through dark times sometimes, because sometimes all you need is to belong, and she's one of those people that really help you. I'm talking about belonging. I forgot to say this in the beginning of the show again, because I'm setting the tone and I haven't recorded in over a week. Guys, if you guys are going and contemplating and entertaining any idea of suicidal thoughts, reach out and put your thoughts, your weight, the anguish on someone else. It only takes 10 seconds more of life to reach out to somebody. There's a 24/7 lifeline button on paranoidradio.com. Guys, I'm not trying to promote the show. You don't need to listen to the show. It's the first thing you see when you open the website. You could talk to someone directly 24/7, like I said, or you could talk to me directly. My phone number is associated with the Instagram account. You don't need to follow. It's open to the public. Just go and click and automatically text me if you need to, and I'll try to help you. I'll try to walk with you, and or just listen. Sometimes you just need to belong. So we don't need no more fathers or brothers or sisters or anything, or anybody for that matter, offering themselves, or people living in anguish, like I said, because you're missing out and you're missing in action. We need you alive and thriving, right, T?
Absolutely. Yep. And Janet, she's so fun. She said one of the best things is people just want to be heard. And sometimes that's all it is just getting it out, and just, it's not as big once you've told somebody. Sometimes it's just getting it, sharing it, and someone else saying, yes, I understand, I've been there, I hear you, or I have no idea what you're going through, but just share it with me, just let me know, and just talk to me, and just get it out. Sometimes that helps, I mean, so much. Yep. It's
It
just
does
cool.
help.
And
So
I've
we
heard,
shut it out. I'm sorry.
yeah, and even Adam Butler, he was
Oh yeah.
awesome. I keep getting, what was it?
I lost you. You there? There she
I'm
is.
here, I'm here. The YouTube channel is awesome. I keep getting notices. I love the shorts. I love the videos. I just saw the Adam Butler, and he said the same thing. Reach out, just reach out to him, to somebody, to anybody, just reach out to somebody else. Cause sometimes it helps just to talk. But, so the YouTube, the JT for JC, that one was awesome. That was cool. You got into Tartaria and everything. That was fun. The one
Oh,
with
maybe
Brad,
lightly too, because I had to cut it short. But oh goodness.
he's fun. He was really
Yeah.
fun. But right now, yes. Okay, so there's like 10 things. Janet right now has Heidi Love on that episode on Cult of Conspiracy. So there's another connection that's been so much fun that you made
Mhm.
for me. That was awesome. And then because I was on your show, then Jonathan and Jacob reached out to me to be on their show. So I got to be
Yeah.
on Cult of Conspiracy, and that was
And they're like at least 3 to 4 times bigger than us. They're huge. They live off the show. So
but they
yeah,
they are exactly the same off the show as they are beforehand, afterwards. They're hilarious.
it's just them. And
It
that's why
is.
those guys made
They're
it big,
so
man.
funny. They're great. And then
Yeah.
so that was Cultivated Series. And then I'm trying to think. And then yeah, your YouTube channel is awesome. I hope that just explodes because it's fun, it's quick. The shorts are awesome. Those are great because it's a teaser, and then it's like, oh, I really want to see that show. I really want to, because there's some that I did. There was one with Brad that was so good. I ended up watching the whole thing, and I'm like, I don't know if there somebody else. I think it was the Adam Butler, because the DMT, and I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about that, whatever. And then it was the same thing, his experience, his life, his past, what he went through, and
Mhm.
from the highest highs to the lowest lows. And who's the other one? Brad Metcalf.
Mm.
Yeah. And then
Dan McCaff.
what a story, from totally paralyzed to running an Ironman competition thing. And now
He
doing
has a
so it's like,
presentation. Plus his
yeah,
accent just got me hooked. I was like, keep talking, bro.
that
That
was
was
great.
it was an electrifying episode. That
Yes.
shout outs to Dan. We gotta get him back on the show. But today's your turn. So we shouted everybody out except for yourself. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Where can people find you?
Thank you so much. I am on Instagram at Level Plain Poem, and that's all the flat earth fun stuff. And then I started a new channel. It's called Hacking Hoaxes, and it's right now I'm focusing on the no nuclear weapons. So I know that you're gonna have Dave Weiss, right? Or you had him. You're gonna have him. Whatever. I don't know where we
I'm
are,
gonna
but
have him on again.
um,
Hmm.
he's the one who said that, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. There is no way. You keep getting these little drops, or I keep getting these little drops, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Catalyst Jones has it running across the bottom of his screen. Nukes are, no, there are no nukes, and nukes are fake. Um, and then dear Eric Dubay has covered it, if you know him from Flat Earth stuff. And then Crow 777, if you know him, he's done 4 episodes on no nukes, and
Hmm.
he's had people he's interviewed. One of the guys was on was Michael Palmer, and he brought up the idea: what if, when they did the nukes, what if it was napalm or blister agent, with the skin sloughing off and all that? And I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. And the biggest one of I'm sorry, kind of jumping, but
Hmm.
one of the most bizarre things is they said they've done, with the radiation that they had in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, when they did the testing, they only found plutonium. Plutonium is only produced in reactors. So which means I mean, this is such a deep dive when you're thinking, okay, no nukes. What if they're nuking? What if they're trying to destroy the nuclear family? What if that's the bomb? Trying to get rid of, destroy the nuclear family.
Oh, you opened the can of worms very fast and very, very loud. Before we keep going with what you're about to drop, I have to sprinkle this here, and not because I know about it, but because I know people have listened to the Olnick presentation I did on broadcasting seeds and biblical hitmen. Guys, this is and it connects. It connects. T. I promise it comes back full loop. You're saying no nukes, and you're saying that the nuclear bomb is actually destroying the nuclear family. Well, I think that Project Bluebeam and CERN, this is going to blow your mind. It's not to mimic or simulate you being God. Project Bluebeam and CERN are actually reversed. And what they're trying to do with all these LHC tech is undigitalize and break the firmament. This is why I wanted to bring it up, because it seems to be like they are not trying to pretend and in the sky have holograms of UFOs, because that's what we all expect. It's actually them trying to break open and hack through the firmament because it's interdimensional. It's a digital one. It's you know what I'm saying, right? Because what I'm saying. This is why we have Mandela effect and all these stuff, because they're messing they're altering our reality and our focus and our collective frequency to be able to reverse engineer what God did. The Bible talks about God's hand and handcraftship. Handcraft? What's the word? You know what I'm talking about. Help me out. What is it? Handcraft? Menship? That's the word. In its details, and you can see the details of it in the firmament, right? I think I lost you again. And she's coming right back. And there's no dead air, guys. While she gets back, make sure you check her out. Level Plain Poem on Instagram. Oh, there she is. She's back. It's okay.
Okay. Actually, can I share something?
And she's gonna be right back again. There she is. You are back.
I'm so sorry. Can I share one little picture with you?
And you're opened.
Okay, let's see. Can you see that?
I cannot see it right now. I don't think you're sharing your screen yet.
Okay, let me see. Share. Here we go. Just this one. I'll just do this.
Unshare, then go back into share. There she is.
Okay. All right. So let me do this real quick. Look at this. This is what they did. Project High Jump. They've been doing this. NASA. These are the patches when they discovered the ice wall. Operation High Jump. Operation Deep Freeze. They discovered the firmament. Then NASA was founded in 1958. The firmament is the Van Allen belt, where they can't get past. They keep saying, "Oh, we can't get past the Van Allen belt," even though Obama said we're in some about lower Earth orbit or something. Then they are. Let's see if I can get this. Oops, go back. Oops. Yeah, the guarding the ice wall, the Antarctic Treaty, Operation Fistbowl. There you go, bombing if there's nukes at the beginning, all those bombs and stuff that they were sending up into the atmosphere. Then if they were bombing the trying to bomb how stupid, first of all, is that? And then how scary and how dumb. And obviously they couldn't do it, thank goodness. But have you heard of sky ice?
Sky Eyes. No, talk to me.
People have been out in Antarctica. There were some teams that were out there, and they'd go to the edge, or they'd go to the firmament, and this whatever it was, they dig through it. It was so cold that it would break their tools. And then once they got a little hole or something, it would heal itself. And they were wondering, maybe that's the firmament. Maybe that's part of it, that it does heal itself, that it does, it's maybe, I don't know. But I mean, I thought that was really fascinating. But there are a lot of stuff on that. But thank you very much for
No
let me share
problem.
that. But when you were saying, it's like, oh, now I understand. That makes a lot more sense. How ridiculously stupid are they to do that?
Just trying to mimic or trying to pretend to be as powerful as God is not only blasphemous, but also narcissistic in a way. And so you're telling me now that nukes are fake. And it's funny because nukes, the N word, I like to say, has been thrown around lately in the last 40 years by every superpower Russia, which holds the most nuclear warheads, right, in the world. And then you have China. You have India. I think Iran wants to has capabilities to build a nuclear warhead. Pakistan, which does, I think it's like, what is it? Pakistan and India that we're about to go to war, and they both have nuclear powers. So why is it that the countries that do not? So this is the question for you. The countries that are trying to strive, like North Korea, they're striving to have a nuclear bomb, are the ones that we are worst enemies with.
All right, there are two thoughts. One is, I think it's all fear-based. I think it's all fear and control and ooh, keep everybody scared, nukes. And when I grew up, it was debilitatingly scary. I was after the duck and cover and under this, I didn't have to do it under the school, but how scary, in the middle of school, and they're like, oh, nuclear, and the fallout shelters, all that. I mean, how horrible to live like that. The movies, music, all that kind of stuff just fed into it. I thought it was awful, just horrible. So when you find out that not only they don't, but they can't, and I don't want to get it. It's like, it's really in the weeds, but it's so obvious once you see it. So I've got on the hacking hoaxes, I've got the slides, and it really walks through from the very basic, and it works through there. But one, if they don't have it, two, think of like Iran, since as long as I can remember, they're always a week away, a month away, there's a few days away. They just need to do this much more, blah, blah. And it's always so close. It's so scary, and it's so close. And North Korea, I remember, I mean, even a few years ago, I kept thinking they're getting closer. This is really scary. They're testing these bombs. Oh my gosh. And it's, there are big bombs, and there are atomic bombs where, fission is just division. That's all it is. I kept thinking fission was some like magical, mystical term that they did some secret, super crazy little thing that was so top secret. It's division, like cell division. Your cells divide. The atoms split. They do, and then they become different elements. So you've got uranium, and they're talking about chain reactions. So you've got a uranium in it, and then it separates. Oh, and even that's so hard. It is so probability, odds, risk, there's statistics. It's just that the hardest, it's really would be challenging to do it anyway. They can do it in reactors where it's confined, where it's a controlled environment. But then once the uranium atom, it has to be unstable. All these parts and pieces are so important. So then when it does split, it sends out either like 2 or 3 neutrons. They have to go find another unstable uranium-235 atom to split that. But when it splits, it becomes 2 different elements. So it doesn't, that chain reaction thing where it sounds like, oh yeah, they just split, and then the neutrons go find another, and the nucleus is so tiny. They say it's like a speck of dust in the side of a stadium. So you've got these atoms, and then it's good. So then this neutron has to go find the nucleus of this atom, which is massive. The space is mostly the electron cloud or what. I mean, to me, it gets so stupid that I think that these are so tiny. These little subatomic particles are so small that you can't see. It's unfathomable, nanoseconds, microseconds, all these little teeny tiny whatever. And then I laugh at the opposite, where the solar system and the galaxies are
I was about to bring that up.
and you can't fathom the trillions of miles, of billions of light years, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, give me a break. Yeah, the human eye can see 3 miles, but we can see the sun at 93 million miles away. I mean, it's just like the dumbest thing. So whatever. So I just think that's too big. These are too small. I don't know. And you can't replicate any of it here. None of it can be replicated. Inverse square of law of light shows that you can't do that. The corpuscular rays show the light spreading out. You can see the source, geometry. Everything is measured, flown, calculated. Everything on Earth is measured, flown, navigated, flat. Everything, radar, sonar, light, what do you call them? Like lighthouses. What was I going to say? They've got that rail gun. The Army uses that rail gun. 100 miles straight as an arrow, no curve. Those, like the Blue Angels, when they fly upside down and they're just feet above the water, feet for how many miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. No curvature and no change. They're upside. I mean, if there was any curvature, if it went down, you'd see the ocean pull away from them. How am I doing this? The ocean would go down and pull away if they're going straight. So if they're going for 100 miles or whatever straight, because they're going how many 500 miles an hour or whatever. I mean, give me a break. So I don't know if they're doing that upside down, but I just think this is it's funny. So everything's measured straight. Everything. The science part of this I got from Nathan Oakley. Nathan Oakley, 1980 on YouTube, and he's getting ready to put out a book. And that's science, 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 math, math, math. But he dumbs it down so anyone can understand it. So I think that's going to be huge when it comes out. I think that's going to help a lot. Yeah, with Dave Weiss, with I mean everybody giving a different point of view of all this. And so he does the math part, which is awesome. And everything's measured flat. So to me, I just kind of, okay. And then I let it go. The nuke stuff, once I figured it out, and it's like, okay. And then I let it go. I'm doing like a deep dive and trying to expose it now. But understanding that fission, okay. So the point was fission is just this dividing, the splitting of atoms. It's absolutely no big deal. And it's so much harder because that little tiny neutron, that little guy who's trying to find the center in the stadium of speck of dust, he can either go past the atom and never get close to it, go past the nucleus, never get close to it. He can bounce off of it and share the energy. It can either slow down or speed up, or he can be absorbed by it. He can be captured in the nucleus and then he's stuck there, or they can split. So you've got all these options before it will split. So then you've got the uranium atom nucleus splits. Then the neutron has to go find other uranium-235 unstable atom. It is so much more ridiculous than it even thinks. So that part was easiest. So that's for the atomic bombs. So that's just for Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Little Man, Fat Boy. That was atom bombs, just splitting atom, fission. Then the hydrogen bomb, the thermonuclear bombs with thermonuclear weapons, that is fission, which doesn't work. And then they need fusion. Fusion is compressing it. So they're talking about these little pieces of metal, these little, so boom, boom. So you got, if you took two nickels and bombed them together, they're not going to explode. There's nothing, there's no gas pressure to cause it to explode. They are solid pellets of uranium or plutonium pellets. They're solid. So there's no room for them to have a gas to explode. And you need rapid expansion of pressure for an explosion, for a blast. So they can't do it. So then you got the fission goes to fusion for the hydrogen thermonuclear bombs. So the thought is it's a hydrogen bomb. Think about the Hindenburg. Boom. It was a hydrogen dirigible, the airship, the Hindenburg that exploded. Did I lose you again? Okay.
You came back.
Boom. Okay, so that was, do you remember that? Oh, the humanity and all that. I don't know if you remember that. I do have a picture if you want to show it, but it's I don't know if this will help. Is it? Sure. I'll just do just the picture. I think. Share and then share this again. Do you remember that?
No.
The Hindenburg. Okay, so if you the whole thing with Tartaria. So Sean Hibbler did the Old World Order, and Richard Lopez has done a lot of stuff on. Oh gosh, everybody. Impossible Dreamer, Weiss. When you talk to David Weiss, he loves this stuff. So the airships. You know how like when you see those old pictures of just older pictures and the sky's blacked out or cleared out, whited out. The sky, there are no clouds. There's no anything. It's just whited out. They think that what if they were hiding the airships? Because if they were abundant in the past, if that was a way to travel, if it was luxurious, if it was fast, if it was free, easy, if you're using the energy from the atmosphere, I shouldn't say that, from the, there's not round sphere-shaped air, but in the energy, electromagnetic, the energy,
the ether.
Kind of, yes. So if they are using the energy from that, like to travel, and then David Weiss will get into that with the planes and their jet fuel. Have you done that one yet? So there's just so many rabbit holes that are so deep to go through. But they're thinking this was something that scared everybody. There was an accident they used to use, like I think the Nazis had used airships or dirigibles, whatever they call them, that Goodyear blimp. Have you seen that? So I think they may have gotten rid of them. They did this as a scare tactic. Oh no, these are so dangerous. It's hydrogen, and boom, they explode. So then they stopped doing these. So then they stop the airships, and so they can hide all that from the past, blah, blah, blah. But what if the hydrogen bombs, the H bombs, are really just, boom, hydrogen? It doesn't have to be the scary nuclear, blah, 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 blah stuff. So I don't know. Food for
I think I've noticed some of the things that they've done And it's not to dumb us down. It's basically to have us to humiliate us and then distract us from the truth. But they got us walking a million miles that way to find the truth. And then they got us walking a million miles that way to find us the truth. This way, you'll find everything that's tiny, molecular, and super quantum's tiny, small,
That you
tiny
can't
again, because it
see. But
gets
when you look at
it,
it, it changes, right?
and it changes. And then you
It's not a
have
particle, now it's a wave. Okay.
and then you have outwards. You feel so insignificant because you can't touch matter. I mean, you can't touch black matter. You can't travel the speed of light. You can't travel to another planet, and you can't breathe in it either. So you're so overwhelmed with the you cannot. And then even with the small stuff, right? Um, and then now recently they came up with not only mirror life, which is I'm prepping an episode on mirror life. Oh goodness! And then when I say I'm prepping, it's to have it on other shows, not to put it on Paranoid, because other people on other shows want to hear me talk about crazy stuff. So mirror life is crazy, but then there's this thing called superposition. So everything they've measured light particles and molecules and single cell organisms, big quotation marks, that are misbehaving and behaving in different patterns and wave function and everything before you watch them. So think about the two slit experiment, right? Have you ever heard about that?
Yes, it is absolutely
So
quantum.
turn up
Yep.
the camera, the molecules, the what's it called? The light molecules change. Well, the theory is this is allegedly, check out, gosh, hashtag look it up. It's called superposition. Everything that you have witnessed and you materialize, everything, even the pen or whatever it is that you have in front of you, it pre-existed, it existed in a different shape or form before you acknowledged its existence. What are you telling me, bro? How insignificant do I have to be to basically tell me that I don't exist until somebody watches me exist? You are telling me that PC people exist, and not people that, for example, you and I wouldn't have interacted, or you wouldn't have existed, or even taken your first breath as a newborn if it wasn't for somebody imagining and manifesting you. So everything is happening at the same time. Today, there's no present, there's no future or past, and then it comes forth that the world is not flat or round. It is what you want it to be. Kind of like your freaking gender. You want to be whatever the hell you want to be today and tomorrow. Dude, the confusion is
It's
so
fluid
retarded.
Earth.
It's fluid Earth. So when I was on Enigma Files a couple nights ago, and I told them, bro, they're not cutting off your head. Then as a Christian, if you're a Christian Christ believer, they're not gonna come over here and chip you, which we already did that ourselves with our phones. They're not gonna come here and try to and persecute you. You've been persecuted. You've been judged, accused by the accuser, the last airbender, the dragon, the thousand faces, the hive mind, I like to call them, the enemy, right? The adversary. You've been deceived. And then he didn't chop you. They're not coming here to physically, with the guillotine, cutting off your head. They cut off your head by dividing your brain, your mind from your brain, your hardware from your software, your belief system, your moral, your values, your morality, your integrity, and then your connection with source, with the
They were
almighty
talking
creator.
about that with the jab. I don't know if it's okay to say this, but
Yeah. Yes,
that
please say.
there was like a silver thread that connected you, and the people who took the jab, it severed that connection with God, and it just breaks my heart because, I mean, what's more precious than that? And it's just devastating not having all the information, people making these decisions. Well, I wanted to see so and so, I wanted to whatever, I need my job, or I need whatever, and it's like, I don't know. I was lucky I was never put in that position that I had to make that type of, I
Thank
mean,
God.
but yeah,
Mhm.
and you wonder, it's like, is it because I already made that decision and I just, I would, no matter what, I wouldn't have taken it. I can't imagine any situation where I've taken it. And it's just so sad that people are put in that position, or they got a free donut or something like that. And it's disgusting. And I keep seeing commercials on TV still for from Pfizer and from all these things, still doing these, and it's like, who's in charge? Who's in control? Why are they not stopping this? I was excited about Robert F. Kennedy getting in there, and I was thinking he's just gonna talk about cutting off the head. I was hoping he was gonna really get in there and do that and just stop it, you know. And I want to strangle somebody because I don't understand why is this information still being put out there to people who don't take the time to research, or don't take the time, or don't have the luxury of the time to get to research. And so I don't know. It's just,
And that's the main thing. Division through time. Also, if you look at it, it's they keep hearing this hamster wheel. That's what we were talking exactly about that with I think it was with Butler, Adam Butler. We mentioned how they got you coming and going
right.
because they have completely eliminated your sense of existence, your the reason to even take a breath, the reason to why procreate, love, get married, right? The most important thing. You know, back when I was coming up, there was one thing that a man needed to do. Well, two things. One was obviously the three P's: protect, profess, provide. But you need to procreate, bro. That's your sole mission. That's your soul. You need to make mini me's of yous, if that makes any sense. That's the first thing you got to do. And then the second, live long enough with integrity to pass on to your seed, right? Where you get to see your seed have his or her seed, and that'll complete your life cycle once your grandchildren are born.
Yes.
And that's the only reason. That's the only reason why we're here. And obviously, cherish and live in the righteousness, you know, and under the light of God. But still, like as a human being in this flesh, people got so divided, not only with the political elements, but also with, you know, if it's a simulation or a flat earth or a round earth. And we lost our connectivity. So I'm not here. Everything that you told me about no nukes, boom, blew my head open, right? And I'm thinking, maybe they have been lying up to us about these freaking nukes. And I'm a conspiracy theorist. I believe in flat earth. I also believe in the globe earth, and I also believe in the simulation. But I noticed that believing in these things, there's no shot at anybody by any means. Believing in these things doesn't mean that I get to live more of a free life now that I know that they can't drive a plane straight, or else they'll fall off the curve of the earth or whatever. It doesn't make me any difference. The only thing that I could really do, like I always say, is try to complete my life cycle, control where my two feet lay, and trying to change the way we behave and separate ourselves from old habits within my household, because that's where it matters with your family, you know, and make them feel the value of love as much as my father did with me and my grandfather did. And it's it's a cycle of greatness, if anything.
And
But
also think how special we are and how lucky we are to be here right now. Because if your great grandfather had been in a car accident, or what I guess in a horse-drawn carriage accident, I don't know. But if I don't know the time, but if something had happened, if you had gotten sick, or if you hadn't married your great grandmother, or if there are so millions of different options that could have happened, and you wouldn't be here. I mean, everything had to work so perfectly. And so I think each one of us, how incredibly special to have this time now and not be afraid. I think that's what I get from all of this, is to
I like
take
that.
the
T,
fear of everything.
I like that. You said afraid and fear. There's this project that they were doing, this procedure, this experiment. They put a room full of babies and they put non-venomous snakes next to the babies. The babies were playing not only with the snakes, but the parents were going crazy. The parents were fearful. The kids weren't afraid of anything. They found out that there's only two things that we're born with, two fears that we're born with: loud noises and height.
Mhm.
That's it. Everything else is conditioned. Everything else is told to you. It's learned. Everything else is someone else's.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's when I noticed what I noticed, I was like, okay, so what are you afraid of? If the Earth is flat, what are you afraid of? You're not falling off
You
the
don't have
edge
to be
anytime
afraid
soon,
of
bro.
asteroids, because nothing's going to come from the outer. There's, I love that I don't know, the possibility of, if there's land out beyond Antarctica, the outer space out there, there'd be extra land,
'Cause it
extra
flips.
territory, extraterrestrials could come out from whatever. So I'd play with all the different, options and everything, but I just think it takes away the fear of any of that stuff. Like, we were watching Jurassic Park just for fun, and it
Don't
takes
you dare badmouth Jurassic Park? That is the most accurate and amazing movie of all time, next to Star Wars. How
But
dare thee?
But that's my
I
trading
love
cards are
Jurassic
in a
Park.
little dinosaur folder. So so I just laugh. But it was just funny because it like all that fear and everything, it just all it takes away so much. But just by learning and researching all this stuff, the more I
Mm,
learn like that. So that's I think is my big takeaway is that none of it's a lot.
Jurassic Park is amazing.
Yeah.
It is false all the way.
There's-
It's the biggest lie in the world, but I enjoy it.
it's- And then what if those were dragons? Because they're saying like the Chinese had the 12 whatever signs or something, and then they've got all these real animals, and then they have a dragon, but they don't. What? So, and then what if those bones that they're discovering, if they're uncovering dragon bones, possibly? Who knows?
Well,
Ooh.
I have a dragon episode I did very long time ago. Where is my note? Leviathan? Yeah, there she is. Dragons have been mentioned in numerous cultures, mythologies, religion. All right. Abrahamic religion, Greek, Norse, Persian, Mesopotamian, Mesoamerican, Egyptian, and Altantian, like from Atlantis. Every single civilization in
Just
myth or
make that
lore
up.
has dragons. So dragons in the water, dragons in the sky, elemental dragons, right?
Listen to
And
you.
I'm sorry?
Listen to you go. Wow.
And the Bible talks about a dragon. It actually talks about multiple dragons, not only the Leviathan, but also Tanin and Satan. And I don't want to go through all my notes
There are
here.
some Christian women. One is There's No Place Like Home, and the other one is it's Donita Fogelman. I forgot her thing, but they're Christian women. They have groups, they talk, and they cover this. They talked about dragons. At first, I was like, I mean, a while is gosh, like 2 years ago, and I was just thinking, I didn't get it. I didn't understand how in the world and the Bible and everything. And then they show the Bible verse. They had a whole group of women. I love it. It's just this, they're sharing stuff that I've read the Bible. I mean, gosh, I mean, church,
The
church,
word
church, and they teach you, you know, the sermon. I've never heard a sermon on dragons. I've never heard a sermon on the firmament. I've never, it's like, what about?
the word dinosaur wasn't created or invented until I think correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, the 19th or the 18th century. Am I wrong? Talk to me.
19th century, yeah, the 1800s. It was they were on their private property, and they mentioned it, and a year later they found it's just like a revelation. What is it? Where they say it like they say it, and then all of a sudden it happened. Oh wow, and then it's on private property, and then but I mean, how come when they were doing the pyramids or whatever? What I know they get into that too, but how did they all this time and digging in Europe and digging in how come they never came across dinosaur bones before? Just what?
It's I as much as I would love to fly on a pterodactyl with my spear like a native and just go hunting, believe me, because that was one of my dreams, guys. I have to admit, dinosaurs aren't real, and they are biblical. They're not mystic. They're probably extinct. And then think about it. Even the conspiracy theory world is infected with lizard people. So you see what I'm
Oh, I
saying, right? It's
see.
all
Yeah.
connected with a bunch of. It's a stacked up burger of
Right. I
lies.
think there was a 1940 something encyclopedia where they looked up dragons and they said mostly rare. And it's like that doesn't say are made up. It said mostly rare. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Well, T, you know what? I like the episode. You know why I like it so much? I'm gonna be honest with you. First of all, because I cherish your time. Again, I'm gonna mention this, guys. I've had supporters, I have friends, and I've had guests, but I never had a person that can fulfill all three categories the way you do. You're an amazing friend, an amazing wife, an amazing mother, and an amazing supporter of the show. You comment, you engage, you start conversations, you text me, we check up on each other, even when we're not gonna record. And even your husband has gone into the mix of talking to us, and I cherish him as well because with his leadership and because of his freedom fighting skills that he has and all the stuff that he has fought for. Today I'm here and I have the liberty and the freedom to do what I like to do the most and be the best father and the best version of myself. And the culmination of that, I also thank God for guiding you and guiding him. Go check up on him because I know he just suffered something. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully all is well. Shout outs to your family. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to your Instagram accounts called Level Plain Poem. Ladies and gentlemen, where can they find you? Where else? Talk to me about your books. What's going on
And
with you?
hacking hoaxes is the new one that gets really deep dive. I've done about maybe 40 slides so far, and I still have 100 more that are in different stages of completion. So I'm just really want to get the information accurate and then do it in a poem. So I have to understand it first and then do it in a poem. Uh, I've got my little books that I've done, my Level Plain Poem books. And
Oh, yeah. I have
oh,
a stack of them right here.
Trebles, thank you.
I
You're so
love it.
sweet. And then Richard Lopez and I we've done one book, a children's book about the outer space, which is the same thing we were talking about. And now we're writing a second book, and it's gonna have, you wanted to write on a pterodactyl. So we're gonna have griffins, flying griffins. It's gonna be so
Oh,
much
yeah.
fun. It'll be completely different. It's fun, it's adventure for little children. And then we've also done, just real quick, we've done a 13-month calendar, and it covers all the Tartaria stuff that you were talking about. We got giants and petrified trees, star
Where can I
forest.
get one of those? Oh, that's
on
good.
CRYPTID. It has all of our we've got
Charismatic, huh? Okay.
Keresmic, I mean, speaker of truth. And that is it's the flat earth. Then you've got a NASA rocket going boop right into the Bermuda Triangle, right into the water, not going anywhere. And then you got the sun and moon circling above.
I love it.
And one last shout out, if I can, Miss Victoria Hibbler, Sean Hibbler's wife, has done now she's done 6 books now, and they're children's books, and they are fun, they're adventures. And she has a little one of creation. This is approved,
Wow.
which just like 2 days ago went on Amazon. So it's under for Victoria Hibbler. And this is about the 7 days of creation. And it's a little bear. And it's a bedtime
love
story
it.
for children. Yes. And they're awesome. And she's done an incredible job. And but thank you very much for letting me have a couple minutes.
No, thank you. Thank you again for your time and being on the show. You warmed me up for the next episode. And I gotta get this camera straight because I still don't like the way it looks. But still, hey, T, this episode runs out of time. And guys, look, I want you guys to please take the time of the day, stop watching butt on TikTok, and take 5 seconds of your day to go to the search bar and check out Level Plain Poem. And what was the other one you said?
Hacking hoaxes.
Hacking hoaxes on Instagram, or is that everywhere also?
Still Instagram, just Instagram. Yeah.
The description of that's going to be on the link. And also, do not forget to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Thank you for tuning into their frequency. Oh, yeah, that was good. You know what? That was so much of a freestyle. I enjoyed it, man.